Hello everyone. So this is my last video for this year 2021 and I thought of making it on a topic which is very much close to all of your heart, and that is on the topic of returning to campus. My understanding is that a number of institutes across India are planning to bring the students back to their campus, and some of the institutes may have already done so, and some institutes, even if they have not informed their students till now, they are, I'm sure, planning intensely to bring the students back. And God willing, if the influence of Omicron is not too heavy, I mean, all students should be back to the campus in the next few months. So fingers crossed. Okay, so these students who are about to come back to campus, I'm sure you're receiving a lot of advice, especially if you're leaving home for the first time and you do not want me probably to repeat those pieces of advice. But I want to share a few thoughts with you, which go beyond the individual level and addresses the collective psyche. This is something which is very, very close to my heart, and it's rather serious. So let's go about discussing it. You see, this whether you are in the second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, and in some cases probably even the first year students, you try to realize that you are standing at a very, very historically important moment as you are about to return to the campus. Okay, like there is an enormous responsibility which rests on your shoulders. You are the connection between the old and the new. You have to accept this. Especially students who are in their third year, fourth year, fifth year, you may have had glimpses of the age-old traditions, the innumerable little experiences of student life, the unsaid bonds of friendship and relationships, which you may have glimpsed from your seniors. And now as you're returning to campus, you probably want to revive them, those age-old traditions amongst yourselves. And certainly you want to also inculcate them in your juniors. And similarly, the second year students, the first year students, when you will be joining the campus for the first time, I'm sure you will be waiting impatiently to meet your batchmates for the first time physically. You also want to meet your seniors, share their experiences, learn from them, listen to the many stories from them, get glimpses of the student culture, and overall be a part of this entire student body. Okay, and I mean, trust me, these are extremely important things. Like, these are the kind of things which gives you a genuine sense of belongingness to your institute, much beyond which any official document can confer to you. I mean, your institute ID is very important, your roll number is important, your institute email ID is very important, but the genuine feeling of belongingness you will feel only after coming to the campus, that simply cannot be substituted for. Okay, so go ahead, soak in all those experiences from your peers, from your seniors. But before you can do that, I want you to pause a bit. Okay, pause for a moment, reflect, ponder, and think and question that when you are about to go into this soaking up of experiences, do you really want to go back to the age-old traditions blindly? Or do you perhaps want to do it a little bit better? So as you're standing at this cusp, at this historically important moment, can you perhaps not do something a little bit better than before? What do I mean by that? Okay, so this is a great opportunity for us to perhaps think about heralding a new era. Okay, so what do I mean by all this? You see, compared to the corresponding batches of the pre-pandemic era, your particular batches are far more mature. So this is something which life has conferred on you. Okay, so it's like this, that sure, the previous batches, and I was also very much a part of them, of those batches, we also faced challenges, but those were the kind of challenges which were confined within the protective confines of our campus. Those were like within set rules and regulations. We more or less knew what we were going to face. It was as if in the examination of our undergraduate life, and I'm not talking about actual exams and tests, okay, in the examination of actual life, we always had the luxury of referring to the previous year's question papers. You guys do not have that luxury. There is no precedence for you as you are standing at this historically important moment. Okay, so since you do not have this luxury, I mean, and at the same time, you have experienced so much more. Uh, See, and it's really unfortunate that I have to that I say this. Many of you have actually heard about deaths of your near and dear ones. Okay, within your extended family, perhaps, and I'm quite sure that perhaps there will not be a single student who, within his extended family or his friend circle, somebody he or she knows, they have not heard of a certain death, okay, or some kind of mishap, some kind of hardship they have not come across. Okay, there will not be a single student like that. Okay, so these kinds of life experiences, they have conferred on you, a certain hardened mentality, a certain hardened psyche, which previous generations of students uh, never had. Okay, so you are a very special batch. You have the kind of life experiences which which we never had, and perhaps hopefully your juniors will also never have. Okay, so you are like a very mature batch. So my invitation to all of you, my call to action to all of you, is that why not try to infuse this maturity, these life experiences, this hardened mentality into doing things a little bit better than before. So I want to go into the specifics a little bit more. Okay, so I've been talking in generalities till now. You see, previously when we used to grow up from our first year within a campus, as we grew up, there was a certain uniformity in our mentality. Okay, our day-to-day habits, sleeping habits, eating habits, even our speaking habits. Okay, each campus has its own specific lingo. So all these things imparted a certain uniformity, and for good or bad, it was like there was almost an unsaid expectation that everybody will fall in line, everybody will be the same. And when we also became seniors, there was like this unsaid expectation, like we'll all be like this. Okay, and without much due thought being given to individual differences and traits. And we certainly, for sure, we never actually thought about mostly about the mental space which a person might be when we kind of implicitly invited him to partake in this rather uniform student culture. Now, you guys have the richness of life experiences which we do not have. You have that maturity far greater than we ever had. Why not try to use this maturity, these life experiences, to revive the student culture in a much better way? That is my call to action for you. Okay, so what I want to say here is that you revive the student culture, but do this with a certain empathy, a certain kindness, compassion. Okay, be inclusive in your efforts. When you're trying to maybe include or invite someone into a club or maybe into your friend circle, do not just blindly or implicitly, kind of like the peer pressure kind of thing, force him to fall in line with your expectations. Everyone is different. Everyone has had some hardships in the recent past. Respect that. Okay. Now, please don't mistake me for when I'm saying all of these things. Please do not think that I'm just asking all of you to turn into some kind of snowflake. Okay, that is not my intention. What I want you to do is to just think about, okay, be a little bit more sensitive, and feel about others. Okay, a very important part of student culture is, something as simple and trivial it may seem, is to engage in some kind of frolicsome activity, make fun of others even. Okay, I'm not asking to stop those things. Making fun of others, frolicsome behavior, banter, this is all an integral part of student life, especially undergraduate student life. Why just undergraduate? Even at the master's level, okay, you're young enough for all those things. So engage in all those things. But when you're doing it, okay, at the back of your mind, be a little bit empathetic towards your fellows. Okay, so I read this somewhere, this great line, that when you're making fun of others, uh, don't make them feel that you are laughing at them. Rather, uh, try to generate a feeling that you are laughing with them. Okay, there's a big difference. So that makes them feel a lot more included. That actually helps them to partake of the fun, even if the fun is being made at their expense. Okay, there's a big difference. Okay, so I'm sure your batches being more mature will be able to appreciate this more. Now, on this topic of inclusiveness, I just want to put in a little bit of advice that as you go about doing your classes, and especially if your classes are in hybrid mode, spare a thought also for the people who are sitting at their homes who could not come to campus. Please include them within your friend circle also as much as possible. Okay. Okay, and while we are on this topic of little bit of academics, I want to say the thing. I told you earlier that I would not be giving any individual advice, and this is not that, but still somewhat. Okay, but on the same theme. So I previously mentioned about being kind to others, being compassionate to others. At the same time, don't forget to be kind to yourself. What I mean by that is, let's say that you are very much excited about joining some kind of study group. Okay, group study is important, and you may think so. All right, but group study is not for everyone. Okay, so if you're an extremely introverted person, if you suddenly go for a group study, it is not going to help you. Okay, try it. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't help you, don't try to force yourself. So be a little bit kind to yourself. Also, words, don't force others. Like if you yourself are an extroverted person, don't force another person who may be in a completely different mental space to join the study group. Okay, so be a little bit respectful like that. Okay, so whatever I have said till now is quite heavy going. I want to end on a slightly lighter note. Still important thing. So indulge me this. So this is on the note of friendship. Okay, and I got this idea of speaking about this particular point from a comment on the previous post. You may have developed some kind of friendships through your online interactions with your batchmates. Okay, and the natural expectation is that when you come to the campus, you will continue on that friendship, that online friendship, on a much more stronger footing once you get to know this person. Okay, if that happens, that's great, but please don't be surprised if it doesn't happen. Okay, you see, human interaction is rather fickle. Okay, sometimes it's just inexplicable. So just because you're friends online doesn't mean that you're going to be friends in real life also. It may not happen. And on this note of friendship, and I think I'm going to say this especially directed to the guys among you, if you thought that your online interactions may lead to some kind of a budding romantic relationship, well, get real. Okay, probably not gonna happen. Okay, and just to end on a little bit of a serious note on this topic, you see, don't get stressed out on these things. Friendships, romantic relationships, let it happen on its own. Be a little bit proactive, but don't stress yourself out. Rather, invest some time and effort on being a better version of yourself. What I want to say here is that if you work towards improving yourself, okay, making yourself dependable, somebody which others, and when I say others, boys, girls, young, old, others can trust, I think that will be a much better version of yourself. So if you become such a person whom you yourself love and admire, then you will see that others also will start to love and admire and respect you. Okay, so on this positive note, I will end this video. A very happy new year to all of you, and those who are about to join the campuses, all the very best. Thank you.